What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video we have the Battle of Spice Single Type Cup Edition Part 1. Now I received so many insane submissions that I couldn't even narrow it down to just a top 20. No, I had to show you guys the top 40 spiciest battle submissions because they were just that good. So in today's video we've got 20 insanely spicy battles, and if we can get to 500 likes on this video, tomorrow I will upload part 2 with the other 20 battles. So make sure you leave a like on the video. I say this every time, but the levels of spice in these competitions just keeps getting higher and higher, and it is absolutely incredible to see. So thank you to all of you guys for making these Battle of Spice videos so freaking good. Unfortunately, as expected, there weren't many Master Premier Cup submissions, so that video is going to be a lot shorter than this one, but there are definitely some bangers in there. With that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. What is your all-time favorite Pokemon you've ever used in the Go Battle League, and why? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so starting things off, we've got Attack Form Deoxys into Alomomola. You couldn't have a Battle of Spice video where Attack Deoxys is eligible and not included, so we're going to start things off with a Psycho Boost. Psycho Boost nearly one-shots Alomomola. That's one of the bulkiest Pokemon in the Great League. We then come in with an XL Turtwig. Now, I don't believe this is fully XL, but we're going to go for a Seed Bomb here into the Hypno, and this does do a little bit more damage this season, but unfortunately it does also cost more energy. We're going for a second Seed Bomb, and it looks to be a CMP tie, which we win into this Hypno. We are going to let this move go through, and it's just a Thunder Punch, so we actually live that. We swap into a Drillbur, and once again, I think this is XL, but I don't believe it is fully maxed out. We're going to be able to shield up a Thunder Punch, and at this point I think they probably are just running Thunder Punch, so we can call this, and then hope that this Drillbur is going to be able to sweep endgame. And let's see, they've got a Registeel in the back. We're now going to go for a Drill Run, and this Drill Run does big damage to the Registeel. The opponent lets it go through, and we're going to be able to farm them down there, so they just concede the match. Into the next game, and you can see we've got a very different screen dimension battle here. I'm assuming it's from a tablet, but unfortunately it kind of makes the graphic a little bit annoying, but we are going to go for a Breaking Swipe, but the opponent catches onto a Registeel. Very nice catch here, but we can just stay in, and we kind of want the Registeel out as well because, I mean, obviously it's not great up against our two Pokemon in the back. We get a Night Slash boost. Now we're going to shield the Focus Blast, get one counter off, swap into our Fracture, into the Shadow Machamp coming back in with the Cross Chop. Honestly, I probably would have sacrificed the Axew, but I guess it just means we're going to see some action from the Axew in the end game here as we go for a Breaking Swipe into the Shadow Machamp. We do take out the Machamp. They're putting both their shields into their Shadow Ninetales, but it doesn't matter. We've got Scratch Axew, and look at that damage from the fast moves. We are going to let this move go through, just a Weather Ball bait, and now the opponent needs to get to back-to-back moves. They don't get there, and we get the farm down. Into the next game, I can't even remember what this Pokemon's called. It's like Behem or something like that, but yeah, I've very rarely seen this Pokemon in battle. We're going to go for a Dark Pulse into the Hypno. It does big damage, and now we're going to shield this up. Probably going to be a Shadow Ball. It is the Shadow Ball. Now hopefully we can just fully Confusion farm them down from this range, and we do get that farm down, which is amazing. The opponent's going to come in with a Shadow Machamp, so this is actually really good for us. We're going to go for a Rock Slide, but the opponent actually lets that go through, so that's incredibly interesting there. I definitely would have shielded that up, but I guess the opponent knows the charge moves from Behem. We're able to acid farm down the Machamp, and they come in with Clefable. I don't think I've ever seen a Pokemon running acid, at least not from this perspective. I've probably seen a few opponents that are quite low leveled using it, but never from this perspective. They go for a Meteor Mash, taking out the Excelgor here. We come in with the Behem. They do get to another Meteor Mash, taking it out, but we come in with our Kangaskhan, get the Mudslap farm down, and we take that game. Into the next game, we've got a Bouffalant, which is another regional like Kangaskhan. We are running Mudshot, and I believe we've got Earthquake there as the nuke charge move. We can let one move go through. It's not going to do too much damage. They go for a Psychic. They don't get the debuff, but a second Psychic will be enough damage to take us out. We go for the Earthquake. It is non-stab, so it doesn't do as much damage as perhaps you might think. We're going to shield this up, and then we should be able to bank back-to-back stomps before going for the charge move here. Now, this is double resisted. It probably doesn't take them out here. here. It doesn't take them out, but can we get the Mudshot farm down? We get the farm down, which is absolutely huge. The opponent comes in with a Shadow Machamp. We full send the Earthquake. I think they're going to shield anyway, so personally I would have gone for back-to-back stomps there, but it's fine. It doesn't really matter too much. We're going to come in with our Duot here. The opponent swaps into Registeel, and we're going to go for an Aqua Tail. This is not going to do much damage to the Registeel, but we're going to be able to spam these Aqua Tails very, very fast. They're going to need to throw their energy straight away if they want to take us out here. So they're going to do exactly that, going for a Focus Bar straight away, taking out the Duot, and now we can come in with our Galarian Farfetch'd. And we are not running a fighting type move whatsoever, so unfortunately this Registeel is going to be very difficult to take out, but we swap and we catch the charge move on our 1 HP Bufalon. They come in with the Machamp. We're actually going to go for a Leaf Blade here, not wanting to debuff our defense, and the opponent calls it. They make it to a charge move, which is really unfortunate. We have to shield the cross chop here, as that would probably take us out. And now can we get to 3 Leaf Blades in time before Registeel makes it to a final charge move to take us out? They even call that they would live a Leaf Blade there, and now we make it to another Leaf Blade. Can we get to the final Leaf Blade? We get there just about in time, and this Leaf Blade will be enough damage to take out the Registeel, and we take that game. Into the next game, we've got Espeon in the lead here, and one thing you'll see from this team is that they are running exclusively nuke charge moves, which is actually kind of insane to see, as the opponent safe swaps into Registeel. We've got Lopunny here to come in, but unfortunately, we do not have Fire Punch. We've only got Focus Blast and Hyper Beam, so is the opponent going to respect the damage? They do respect it. They use a shield, which is really unfortunate as we can't bait them here. So the opponent's going to go for a Zap Cannon. We call it, and then we're able to make it to a Focus Blast into the Registeel, and this should be grabbing the final shield from the opponent, but they will be able to fully lock on, farm us down, which is really frustrating. We come in with our Ursaring here, gonna shield this up. Hopefully we can Shadow Claw, farm them down, but they get the debuff there. Can we get the farm down? We barely get there in time, and that's actually huge for us, as now we can go for a Hyper Beam with debuff, but this Hyper Beam is gonna be absolutely huge, and it still one-shots the mark. They come in with Clefable. We're gonna count and swap and catch the charge move onto our Espeon. Perfect there. They go for the Moonblast. It takes out the Espeon, but it does not matter. We make it to Hyper Beam number 2, and this will easily be enough damage to one-shot the Clefable, and we take that game. Into the next game, we've got Shadow Ambipom into Umbreon. Now, we do actually have a fighting type charge move, but it is low sweep and paired with Scratch. It's probably one of the worst combinations of fast and charge moves in the entire game. And then when you add Aerial Ace onto that, that is just an absolutely dreadful combination, but we do grab a shield advantage as the opponent swaps out into Vigoroth. We're going to respond with our XL Whelmer. I do believe it does need to be slightly XL here if it's good IVs. We're going to go for a Body Slam here into this Vigoroth, and Body Slam does grab the final shield from the opponent. At this point, I think we probably do have to use a shield here, as even though we've got Abra in the back, we will resist the counter damage. Abra is incredibly glassy, even glassier than the Alakazam and the Kadabra at the Great League CP, so we're going to let the Whelmer go down. I thought it was a Wailord for a second here, but we get the Charge Beam farm down. The opponent comes in with the Umbreon again. They've got a charge move loaded. They go for the foul play. We are going to overfarm here. We will make it to a Signal Beam, but we swap. We catch the charge move perfectly onto our Shadow Ambipom. Umbreon takes out the Ambipom. We can now overfarm just a little bit, go for the Signal Beam. This Signal Beam is going to be taking out the Umbreon, and they've got Seviper in the back. We barely make it to a Psyshock. They are at full health, but Psyshock one-shots Seviper, and we take that game. Into the next battle, we've got a triple Hitmon team, a team that you might have seen from Yonkers the last time I did the YouTuber Battle of Spice, but here it's making a return from this trainer. The opponent's going to go for a Discharge there. We're going to go for an Ice Punch. We throw an alignment, which is unfortunate. Hopefully they do just let it go through. They do actually end up shielding, which is not ideal for us. We're going to shield this up, and I think we might be able to just fully counter farm them down. It's going to be close here, but we might go for the farm down. We get the farm down, which is massive, but they come in with a Gramble. This is really bad for us. That's definitely charmed there. We go for our Ice Punch. It does connect. We come in with Hitmonlee. They fully farm us down. Oh my gosh. We got one more counter. They farm us down as well. But the opponent doesn't throw their energy. I don't know what they were thinking there, unless they were running like Play Rough and it was a single move Gramble, I have no idea, but that allows us to get to the back-to-back close combats in time. First one grabbing a shield, the second close combat will be taking out the Registeel, and we take that game. Into the next game, we've got a Miss Magius into Lurantis. We are resisting the Fury Cutter damage, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. Fury Cutter does not do much damage anyways. They go for Leaf Blade, and that does a significant amount of damage. The opponent comes in with a Lick Muck. Very interesting fast move on Muck. That is Legacy, I do believe. They go for a Dark Pulse. That does grab our shield. We can overfarm here. Go for the full farm down. We get the farm down, which is massive. The opponent comes back in with Lurantis. We can now go for a Draining Kiss. Not the best charge move whatsoever, but hopefully we do make it to a second Draining Kiss in time. The opponent actually knows that, and they do throw their energy just before we get to a charge move, so very good timing from the opponent. We're going to come back in with Miss Magius, go for a Dark Pulse, grabbing the final shield, and the opponent swaps into Umbreon now. We're going to go for an Octazooka straight away, hoping to get that debuff right off the bat, and Octazooka does get the debuff. Now these foul plays are not going to be doing too much damage to this Octillery here. We can let a second charge move go through, but honestly, we're probably going to have to shield the third one here. Otherwise, we will not have enough health to make it to a charge move into Lurantis in the end game here. So we go for a Gong Shot. That does big damage, but unfortunately not quite enough damage. We're going to have to throw another charge move. We shield up the foul play. The opponent comes back in with Lurantis. We swap out immediately, making it to the Dark Pulse. This will be taking out Lurantis. We also only give the Umbreon one extra Snarl. We barely make it to the Octazooka in time. Does this KO the Umbreon? Yes, it does, and we take that game. Into the next battle, we've got Raichu in the lead here, and it is a shiny Santa Hat Raichu as well. I didn't notice that on the submission, but we are going to call the Zap Cannon. It's actually a Focus Blast, so one of the only Registeels in existence to actually go for the Focus Blast when it's necessary, instead of just baiting with a Zap Cannon, but that actually ends up being really bad for this team, as both Pokemon in the back would absolutely get one-shot by a Focus Blast. We're going to farm all the way to the Hyper Beam, and by the way, this is an unobtainable Legacy Quick Attack Porygon, by the way, and they are also best buddied because it's such a cool Pokemon. We're going to shield up the Dark Pulse here. Unfortunately, they did shield up our Hyper Beam, but we're now going to go for a Discharge. Maybe we grab another shield here. We do grab that shield, and that's really good. And then we swap, and we catch the charge move onto our Raichu. That is actually amazing there. Dark Pulse takes us out. And what are we going to come in with here? We come back in with the Porygon. The opponent comes back in with the Registeel. We're going to send the Hyper Beam anyway, even though it's resisted. It is Stab, and Hyper Beam does big damage to the Registeel. And if they go for the farm down, they're not going to get there. We make it to a Discharge. Discharge still barely doesn't take them out, but we Quick Attack farm them down there, and now they come in with Mew, and this is a really good matchup for the Absol. I assume we're just going to go for a Dark Pulse straight away. No, we actually don't. We're going to overfarm here. Honestly, a Dark Pulse would easily one-shot Mew. Absol is an incredibly glassy Pokemon. We're also shiny with the glasses. We're going to go for that Dark Pulse, taking out the Mew, and just for the sake of it, we're going to go for a Thunder. We would have taken them out with a Dark Pulse anyways, but Thunder takes out the Umbreon, and we take that game. Into the next game, we've got shiny Shadow Arbok in the lead. A very, very nice shiny Shadow there. I wish I had this one. The opponent swaps into Hypno. We come in with an XXS Floatzel here, so really small. We're going to shield this up. Floatzel also, like, just such a bad Pokemon here. Incredibly glassy, not the best charge move, but it does actually have Liquidation, which I forgot about. We got the debuff here. We're just going to let it go down. Thunder Punch takes us out, and now I assume we come in with Zeb Striker and go for a farm down here, and that's looking like that's the case. We do get the farm down thanks to the Liquidation debuff. They come in with Machamp. We're going to go for a Wild Charge, grabbing the shield. We swap back into Arbok. They've got Ninetales. We're going to go straight for a Dark Pulse. This is going to do a lot of damage to the Ninetales, and it should put them into range where we can probably just farm them down with our Zeb Striker. So we're going to let the shiny Shadow Arbok go down. Weather Ball does take us out, but we will be able to get the farm down here. We can safely shield this up. Machamp does not have a charge move loaded. We do get the farm down, we come out with a Wild Charge loaded, and Zeb Striker is going to be able to one-shot the Machamp and take that game. Into the next game, we've got a Shadow Flaffy in the lead. Now, this trainer said that they are working on getting the XL candies. It is best buddied, but it's not fully maxed out yet. The opponent goes for a Meteor Mash, which we do call, and we can let it go through as it is resisted. We're going to go for a Discharge here. Discharge, doing big damage, but unfortunately, I think the opponent banked a charge move before swapping out, but we're going to come in with a Shadow Watchog here, and unfortunately, I don't even have a Shadow to take a snapshot of for the graphic, but just know it is definitely a Shadow Watchog here, as we fully bite farm down the Mew there. No shields used in this battle so far. We're now going to finally use a shield, shielding up the Meteor Mash, go for the bite farm down, and let's see what they've got in the back. They've got a Kofragrigus. We're going to go for a crunch here, and can we fully sweep with the Shadow Watchog here? It's going to be incredibly close. We go for the crunch. It doesn't get the debuff, and at this point, I think since they're throwing their charge move, we might as well let it go down. Psychic takes us out. We've got a Shadow Gramble in the back, and it is a Snarl Gramble, not Charm, so that's good to see because I'm not a fan of Charm, and especially in the Battle of Spice videos. The opponent goes for a Psychic here. We farm to the back-to-back crunches, outpacing them easily. We make it to the first one, and the opponent just lets it go through, knowing we had back-to-back moves, and we take that game. Into the next game, we've got Kangaskhan in the lead, and we are running Mud Slap, so a pretty good scenario so far. The opponent comes in with Umbreon. We build up a ton of energy. If the opponent's unfamiliar with the moveset, they might shield, but they actually choose not to as we go for a power-up punch. Gonna go for another power-up punch here, and this is actually gonna get the Umbreon into the yellow health. We're gonna let this move go through here, and it is a Psychic, so they're probably running Foul Play and Psychic. We're gonna shield this up. Honestly, I'd like to see us swap into the Mightyena at some point, as it is a very comfortable matchup, knowing they've only got Psychic or Dark-type charge moves. We're now gonna swap into Mightyena, so I do like this play, and we can safely let any charge move go through. I think they might just be a single move Psychic Umbreon at this point, because why do they keep throwing Psychic? I don't know, but we do get the farm down with Ice Fang. The opponent comes in with Kofragrigus. This is a really good matchup. We can go for a crunch here, and this is going to do a ton of damage to the Kofragrigus. It nearly takes them out. They get to a charge move, but we will live this. The opponent full sends a Shadow Ball, and they swap into Muck. We're going to go for a Poison Fang bait here, maybe not recognizing that we did make it to a crunch. We get the debuff though, that is permanent, as we're going to come in with the Kangaskhan. The opponent throws their energy, they don't want to get the farm down. Thunder Punch takes us out, and now it's all up to Luminion here, and we are running Water Gun, so we should be able to shield a Thunder Punch, fully Water Gun, farm them all the way down, and we should be able to Water Gun, farm down Kofragrigus, and take that game. Into the next game, we've got Delcatty into Haxorus, a pretty decent lead. The opponent swaps into Shadow Ninetales, and we respond with our XL level 50 Axew. Gonna let this first move go through. It is just the Weather Ball here, and we will be able to make it to an Aquatail. This will take them out from this range, or grab a shield. The opponent chooses to shield, and I'm hoping that we can fully scratch farm down this Ninetales from this range, but we are very low, so it's going to be incredibly close. But we do barely get the farm down. Unfortunately, we don't leave with a charge move loaded, so if they come back in with the Haxorus, they will be able to take us out, and they're actually running Dragon Tail, it would seem. The opponent responds with Surviper, and we come in with an XL Pancham. I've never seen this in battle. I'm not even sure what moves it's got. Looks like it's got Body Slam and possibly Crunch here. We're going to go for the Dark type charge move, and it is a Crunch here. Unfortunately, no debuff, which is not great. We've only got Delcatty remaining. We have to let the first move go through, assuming it's a Poison Fang. It will debuff our defense, but hopefully we can get a Charm farm down here. It's going to be really, really tight. They are resisting the Charms. These are non-stab Charms as well. But we barely get the farm down. We come out with a Fairy type charge move. I don't even have a clue what move it is, but it takes out the Haxorus, and we take that game. I think that was Disarming Voice, but I could be wrong. Into the next battle, we see Shadow Mewtwo into Shadow Gramble. We swap into our Shadow Porygon 2, going straight away for the Tri Attack, and hopefully we can get the debuff. We do grab the shield, and we do get the debuff as well. So that's really huge for us. We're going to wait out the switch clock, and we're going to come in with our Shadow Typhlosion, and these Incinerates, look at that damage. The opponent comes in with a Muck. We're going to go for the Blast Burn. This will do huge damage, or it will grab the final shield. We do grab the final shield, and we make it to another Blast Burn before they get the farm down. Blast Burn takes out the Muck. We are going to instantly swap into our Shadow Mewtwo, and the opponent's got a Vigoroth left, so we can easily just farm to the back-to-back side strikes in this matchup, and we will be absolutely fine. I also just noticed Vigoroth went for Brick Break there for whatever reason. reason. You should not run Brick Break on your Vigoroth, but we one-shot the Vigoroth, and the opponent comes back in with the Gramble. We can now go for Side Strike number 2, taking out the Gramble, and we take that game. Into the next game, we've got a Shadow Sandslash in the lead, but we safe swap into Attack from Deoxys. It's single moved. We don't even make it to a Dark Pulse, even if we're running it. Considering Confusion is resisted, that is really embarrassing. But look at the damage we just dealt with a resisted Side Strike there. Or Side Shock, sorry. No, neither of those moves. Psycho Boost. Jeez, what am I talking about? We are so many battles deep that I'm forgetting how to pronounce charge moves, but we do get the Mud Shot farm down as the opponent comes in with a Druddigon. Very spicy Pokemon from the opponent's end. We get the shield with the bait. We're now full sending the Earthquake, and Earthquake one-shots the Druddigon, and they've got a Registeel in the back, and I'm really hoping we get to see this Party Hat Wurmple in action, at least just for a sacrificial swap or something, but honestly, I don't think we're going to need it here. The opponent gets to the charge move. I think we should just barely outpace them to the second Earthquake, but no, they're actually running Flash Cannon. Maybe we need the swap. No, we didn't need it, but we get it anyways. We catch the charge move onto the Wurmple. Flash Cannon takes them out, but we can come in with the Sandslash, go for the Earthquake, and Earthquake takes out the Registeel, and we take that game. So into the next battle, we see Zoroark into Gramble. This is absolutely awful. We're going to safe swap into our hardest response here in the Shadow Charmeleon. Going to go straight for a Fire Punch. This should be grabbing a shield from the opponent, and we do get that shield. The opponent's staying in here. We will be able to farm them down, but not before they make it to a charge move. But we're actually going to shield up the Crunch here. We will now be able to farm them down, come out with a Fire Punch loaded, but we actually commit to the Flamethrower. We barely make it in time before we get counter farm down. That does so much damage to the Vigoroth. That was actually crazy. I think we have to come in with the Carnivine here, and we are going to be able to farm them down before they throw a charge move. Not sure what the opponent was thinking there, but we can now go for Power Whip. This isn't going to do too much damage. Umbreon is very bulky, but we do actually grab the final shield there. That's fine with us, I guess. We're going to shield this up as Foul Play probably still wouldn't take us out. Carnivine isn't that glassy, I don't believe, but we can go for another Power Whip, and you'll see Power Whip does about 40% of Umbreon's health, so that's actually quite a lot of damage. Foul Play doesn't quite take us out here, and we are going to be able to make it to a final Power Whip into this Umbreon, and that's going to be enough damage to take out the Umbreon, and we take that game. So into the next battle here, we've got a fully shiny region locked team here, as we've got shiny Torkoal in the lead. Great lead into Shadow Gramble. The opponent responds with a Politoed. We're going to full send the Solar Beam here. Can we land it? Yes, we can. We one-shot the Politoed. And the opponent just concedes the match there. That is actually hilarious. Into the next battle, we've got a Shadow Machoke in the lead. Okay, we are completely core broken by this Aromatisse. We swap into Fracture. I don't know why. It doesn't make any difference. We make it to a Night Slash. We don't even grab the shield, which is really painful. But we have got a Shadow Nidorino in the back. So we're going to come in with it here. Hopefully they don't swap out. And they're actually staying in. They barely get to a charge move, which is really unfortunate. So we're going to shield up the Psychic. And we do get the Poison Jab farm down. They also get the debuff with the defense, which is really annoying, but we're now going to go for a Sludge Bomb into the Dunsparce that comes in. It does big damage. We swap, we catch the move onto our Shadow Machoke. It is a drill run that does a decent amount of damage, and they've got a second Charmer in the back. This is really, really bad for us, even though we've got the poison typing here. We go for a Sludge Bomb. The opponent lets it go through. What on earth was that? Okay, I don't know what just happened there, but we're able to fully Poison Jab, farm them down, whilst the opponent uses no shields whatsoever. But into the next battle, we see a Sea King in the lead. Gonna safe swap into our Shadow Luxray. We're not running Psychic Fangs, we're actually running Crunch and Wild Charge. So that's quite interesting here. We're gonna shield this up. And we farm to the back-to-back crunches here. Gonna go for the first one, and this will be doing a ton of damage. It actually just takes out the Shadow Politoed, so that's absolutely fine. The opponent comes in with a Sea King once again, so we're gonna go for another Crunch. Crunch does get a shield, wins the CMP tie, and gets a debuff, so that's huge. They go for an Icy Wind. We're now gonna come in with our Shadow Liepard here, go for the full farm down with Charm, and they've got a Shadow Hypno in the back. Now we are going to swap, catch the charge move onto our Lycanroc, and it is a Fire Punch, so that's resisted by the rock typing, and we will barely make it to a drill run here. Unfortunately, the opponent goes for a full Confusion farm down there, and that does allow them to get the farm down, but we've got a shield remaining. The Charm goes through, and that will be enough damage to take out the Hypno, and we take that game. So now going into the final battle of this video, we've got Glalie into Seviper. So we're going to say swap into... what is even this Pokemon called? I have literally no idea. We are unfortunately met with an Umbreon. They go for a foul play, we do live it, and this Pokemon is like Musharna or something like that. We're going to go for a Dazzling Gleam. That does a ton of damage to the Umbreon here, and the opponent's over farming. We get to a Psyshock. They might think we're already at another Dazzling Gleam, and we actually grab a shield, and we win the CMP tie, which is actually crazy, considering this Pokemon is pretty much useless. But we're going to come in now with the Glalie, I assume, since we are running a double Psychic team here. And we are unfortunately not going to make it to the Avalanche before they make it to a charge move, but we can comfortably have a foul play, so we're going to let it go through. Going to over farm here. I think we might just go for a full Ice Shard farm down. They go for foul play number 2. Can we get the farm down? We don't commit to it in the end. We've built to the back-to-back Avalanches, taking out the Umbreon. The opponent comes in with a Primeape, so we come in with our Grumpig. We've got 2 shields here. This could be a Night Slash. We're going to shield it. It is the Night Slash, and we do make it to a Psychic, and this will easily take out the Primeape here, and the opponent lets it go through. They come back in with the Seviper here, and all we need to do is make it to a Psychic, grab the final shield, and hopefully an Avalanche will be enough damage in the end game to take out this Seviper here. We go for the Psychic, grabbing that final shield, and the opponent needs to throw their energy. They do throw their energy, and now hopefully an Avalanche is going to be enough to take them out from this range. We're going to throw it straight away, an Avalanche from this range doesn't take them out, but one more Ice Shard does the job, and we take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. Those were some insanely spicy battles, and don't forget, we've got 20 more spicy battles just like this in tomorrow's video if we do hit that 500 like goal. So if you haven't liked the video already, make sure you do that now. Leave a comment letting me know you enjoyed this video, and also don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.